What is up, Flosstube? My name is Haley. I'm the Brigham House Stitcher. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about my cross-stitching journey and a little bit about my life. Now, you're very lucky because this is take 2. And the first one was like 7 minutes of me rambling on about personal stuff and not even cross-stitch. So, hopefully this take is better. Let's see. I've got 2.5 finishes. And technically a new start, if we want to call it that. No haul. It's all in shipment on its way here. So by next video, hopefully I'll have some haul to show you. But I've got the regular whips and some other stuff. So, since I've rambled on for 7 minutes already about personal stuff, let's skip right over that. And we could talk about it at the end if you would like. But let's start with my first finish. It's this one. If you remember this is the stitch for my friend's birthday, my friend in Virginia. Her birthday's coming up very soon. I need to check on it because I need to FFO it. Not just finish it, but I need to FFO it so that I can ship it to her. It may not be next video that you see it because I may have shipped it already. I'm going to sneeze. I'm very sorry. But it was beautiful, but I hated stitching it. It was over 1. I chose the wrong fabric. I loved the look of it. Wrong fabric. Over 1 was wrong pattern. Wrong everything. So this is how far I got on it there. That was the last video, and since then I decided to restart. I restarted it completely. New fabric, new patterns, and I finished it in a week. Okay, that was 2 weeks worth of work, maybe a week and a half of work, and I finished this in a week. So this is what I came up with. Now, I think it's beautiful. I actually do. Seeing it in the camera, I haven't looked at it in a couple of days since I finished it, but it's pretty. Now what had happened was I messed up. Okay, I didn't start in the center of the fabric, and I didn't start in the center of this. I started here. I started here with this letter in this top corner here, and I thought I would just do some S's, you know, her initial. So I started here, and then I was like, well, where do I place the big one? Where do I place it? And so I started in the center here, and I worked up, and I realized, oh, it overlaps. But it's also, I don't know if you can, here, let's see if we can focus it. Sorry, peeps. It's also on the wrong grid. And by the time I had started here, and by the time I got up here and realized it was on the wrong grid, I was like, don't care. I'm not entering it in the fair, okay? I'm giving it to a friend, and she will appreciate the effort. So I just stitched over it, and I was like, I kind of like how that looks. So then when I did this one, I made sure to overlap it, and I think it's very pretty. I like how it turned out. I'm going to leave it in this frame. It's a metal hoop that my mom gave me. So I'm going to leave it in there, and I'm going to put a backer on it, and I think I'm going to put some batting so that it puffs out a little bit. Just like almost like a pin cushion type thing. But I like it. The right fabric, the right patterns. Little mistakes here and there, but I think it's okay. Clearly, I'm going to move it down in the hoop, bring it down a little bit. And then, yeah, I'll post on my Instagram what it looks like when it's done. But this was like 4 days of work at work. That's really good compared to a week of work on this and still getting nowhere with it, basically. So I'm really glad I started over. I really like the look of this. And I hope she likes it. So that's my first finish. My second finish is Apothecary. Right? The Witchy Stitcher. Love, 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 love. This is where it was the last time you saw it. I just had, you know, this to finish up here. And for some reason, it was just taking me forever. And so once I finished this, I took this back to work and I got it finished. Go figure. So here it is. Now, I don't know if I particularly like this frame. I don't know if this frame fits it, but this is the frame that I had. So this is the frame I put it in, because by the time I was done with it, I was done. I was like, put it in a frame, put it up on my wall. I don't want to see it anymore. I mean, I do want to see it, but I don't want to stitch on it anymore. So I'm going to try to not get too much of a glare. Not going to happen. Sorry. Yep, that's just how it's got to be. Sorry, guys. So, I think it's so cute. I love it. And it's up on my wall next to my Salem Broom Company and my Shadows on the Moon cross stitch. That's where it sits. It sits next to, it's like a whole Halloween wall. And I love it. It's so pretty. So pretty. I love it so much. I'm so glad I got that done. Okay. Next finish. I call it a half finish because it is Primitive's months of the year. Yes. We finished June. Primitive Months of the Year Village by NARAxStitchPatterns on Etsy. I started at May 2024. It's on a 16 count Zweigart Ada gridded DMC stitching at 2/1. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's all done. Just the cutest houses. This is where it was out the last time you saw it. The grass was almost done in June. I needed to do the chimney and the clouds. Bring it in a little bit more. So there's where it was the last time you saw it. And here is where it is now. I'll bring in June. Okay. So the grass is done. The clouds are there. You can barely see them, but they're there. The chicken got their back stitch. I wasn't originally going to do the beaks and the feet on the chicken. I was like, that's just, it doesn't, I think the beaks and the feet make them look bigger than they're supposed to be, but I did one chicken's feet and I was like, all right, have to do the rest. So I'm so happy I finished June, because then on September 1st, I started on September. So here's my start. There's my September start. Now, at first I thought those were pumpkins. They're not pumpkins. They're bushes. Okay, we'll show you September. They're bushes, not pumpkins, silly. So that's what that's supposed to look like. And there's where I got to. I did the first line of the border, did a little bit of fence, did a little bit of bushes, and I'm calling that technically a start. I think it's good. I can't wait to have a whole row done. I'll feel like I've actually accomplish something. You know what's so funny is that, okay, I finished this in October 2024, November 2024, December 2024, and then the rest of all of this stitching is all I did in 2025. Okay? I got more accomplished in 3 months than I have in an entire year. I haven't been as dedicated to this as I should be, but I'll get September done and the whole line will be done, and it'll feel like I've accomplished something, even though I have. It took a lot of effort to finish June. A lot of effort. Because when you're not feeling it, you know. Yeah. Okay. Now, we'll move on to my next whip. My next most unimpressive amount of work being done was done on the Governor's Palace. This, sorry, let me grab my card. This is the Governor's Palace by Ceil Humphreys. I started it November 28th, 2024. It was a kit that I picked up in Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm stitching it 2/1. That's what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And let me tell you, if I don't take this thing to work, I don't work on it, man. I just don't. And here is where it is now. I stitched 2 days on it. Can you even tell what I did? I'll show you. I did this today at work, and I did this yesterday at work. Impressive, I know. I mean, it's slow progress on this one. When I come home from work, I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. Customers just drag or suck all the energy right out of you. And then your feet are just throbbing with pain, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get motivated again. I'm going to make a schedule again. I made a schedule. I decorated it. I laid it all out where it was going to be and what I was going to stitch on each day. Did I do any of it? No. I'm just tired. I'm just tired, which is great for YouTube videos because, you know, you want your viewing to be tired. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Indeed. All right, the next one is History Witches by the Little Stitcher. I was gonna write down when I started it. I swear every time I'm gonna write down when I started it, and then I don't. It's a 32 count linen. There was no name on, no color name. Stitching it with DMC 2/2, and I've combined the two patterns, so they're gonna sit on each other like this. So History Witches 1 and 2, I'm stitching them on the same fabric, and I've altered it a little bit so that they both fit. This is where it was the last time you saw it. Tons of progress, I know. So I started in the middle, and then I worked my way to the edge, and then I figured out what I was going to do down here to combine them and kind of have a game plan. So that's where it was the last time you saw it. And here is where it is now. Now this picture, it makes it look gray. The fabric is not gray. It is not that color. That's so weird. It's green. But here's where I'm at. We got the words. So now I can work on this side. Now my goal is, or was with stitching this, is to do the words across the top so that I could stitch the first witch. Right? Now there's no possible way that I'm going to finish this piece before Halloween. No way in Hades. So my goal is one witch. If I can get one witch done by Halloween, that would be awesome. This is my Saturday stitch. This is what I stitch on Saturdays. And that's kind of been working out pretty well for me. So let me show you. I want to do Alice Cutler. I don't know how to, I can't really read her name, the redhead. My goal is to stitch her before Halloween. So we've taken out and their secret familiars. We're just doing history witches, then a border, and then we're coming down, we're going to stitch her. We're going to do a border and then the next set of witches, and then down below we're going to say and their secret familiars and their magical tools. So that's the goal. Sometimes when I'm stitching words or letters, I panic that I've been dyslexic and mixed up a letter or a word, and it doesn't really say history witches, so I was just making sure in the camera that it really did say history witches. So yeah. Hopefully I've done my math right and they do fit on this one piece of fabric. Because what a fool I'll look like if they don't. Okay. The next one is Trick or Treat by the Prairie Schooler. I started this June 20th, 2025. It's on 28 count Lugana in the colorway Murky. DMC and called for, and I'm stitching it 2/2. And I dropped my picture. Let me get it. Yeah, let me get it. I was like, is my room clean? I picked it up. And this is what it looked like last time you saw it. I have not moved the hoop yet. The hoop has not moved, and that's okay. Because here is where it's at now. You know, maybe I should remove the needle minder, perhaps. Maybe just a little. Okay, there we go. So we worked mainly in the house. We got the back stitching on the windows done. I got these windows filled in, her eyeball, the bat's eyeball, the witch's eyeball, this bat. The moon is here, so I have to move the hoop to do the moon. But we've been working in here. We got all this done, filled in, back stitching here. Did the roof, got the outline of the roof. Finished the witch. Put in a star. Wow, I've actually done a lot since the last time I saw you. Done a lot. That looks good. I stitch on this for half an hour every morning before work. I get about a thread or two in before work, and so, man, that really does work. Just doing a thread or two before work. It's really starting to come together. I like that a lot. I think it looks good. Sorry, I'm just admiring it in the camera. It looks so good. It does look like a little village. Like, it looks good. Okay, I feel happy about this one. I was worried about it for a second, but It's good. I like it. Okay. I'm gonna put my... Don't do that, bro. This is what happens when you don't glue down your needle minder magnet. It decides to be a pain on camera. Okay. Before we get into our final whip, which is Let Freedom Ring, I do want to talk about maybe a little bit of, let's call it a haul. I didn't realize I had done this, but I signed up for a stitch along. And I didn't remember I did until I got an email. And it was like, here's the first section of the stitch along, and here's the supply list, and then we're going to drop the second piece October 1st. I was like, I signed up for this? What? What the heck? It's the... Now, let me see if I can pronounce this right. Samhain Queen Stitch Along. It's a mystery stitch along. And yes, hosted by the Witch's Garden Crafts. It's released in 31 pieces, so every day in October a different piece is gonna be released. And I really liked that, and I'm into the Halloween right now. So they released the frame. So in September, you're supposed to complete the frame. And then every day in October, you're going to get a little bit of the stitch. And you just stitch on it. And I don't have the colors for this frame. Otherwise, I would have started. I gathered all the supplies. I picked my fabric. Okay. Linen water lily. It's a 28 count. Hopefully it fits. I don't know how to do my math on that yet. But here's the colors. But I also have colors coming from Etsy and 123 Stitch because they didn't have all the colors I needed. Or yeah, I did that. Making sure I did that right. So I would have started on this frame, but the only colors that I have are this X inside this flower here, and then that thing. So this X and that thing. It's the only colors I have for this border. So I was like, okay, I gotta order them, and they should be on their way, and then I can start on it. And I really hope I've chosen the right fabric size. Now that I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, this is right? This is right. Right. I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited to do it. Hopefully I can find time and get it all done. So there's that. And then, let's see what happened. Oh, usually we have a cross stitch group right before my Flosstube, but it's been changed to tomorrow because the days are getting shorter. What else happened? Let's see, what else happened? It was the 10-year anniversary of my father's death. That was a really hard weekend because nobody prepares you for living most of your life without your father, right? Like, you don't think you're going to have a milestone like that at 39. 10 years without my dad at 39. You know, you never think you're going to lose a parent that young. You can have years and years with them, and then you're like, oh, I was a teenager. I was a brat. I wasted time, right? You don't mature until you're like 35 or something. Just wasted time. And then, let's see. Oh, yes, my best worker at work put in his 2 weeks notice, and he's like, sorry to do this to you right before Christmas. And I'm just like, I don't know if I have time to train somebody up to help me because the 2 other people I have, they're not up to par yet with the busy season, and so I'm just kind of stressing. But luckily, they're going to transfer somebody from a different store to my store. They're seasoned and experienced, so I'm not just like gonna do Christmas by myself. You know, that's what it was gonna feel like. It's just me doing Christmas by myself, and I would have died. I just would have died. And since he's been, you know, put in his 2 weeks, I'm like, do I want a different job? Do I want to leave? Is this what I want to do with the rest of my life? Absolutely not. So I've been thinking about maybe getting a new job. Everything's up in the air. Everything's wishy-washy. I'm so confused at this present time about everything. Dating. The guy who stood me up, he reached out. He wants another chance. So we'll see if he puts in any effort. I'm not going to do anything. I was like, okay, you want another chance? Make it happen. Ask me out. Take me out. Do anything. So we'll see if he does anything. Okay, that's my boring, sad little life. Let's get to Let Freedom Ring. Shall we? Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studios, or Lila's Studio. I started it January 4th, 2025. It's on a 28 count Lugana vintage mocha. Stitching it with all the called for, and I'm stitching it to over 2. And that's what it's gonna look like in a year. That's what it's gonna look like a million years from now. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. I had worked in this area in the building. I had done those stitches. And here is where it is now. There we go. I didn't want to just like do the building and get the building done. I wanted some excitement. That's why all these other things exist, because I wanted excitement. I wanted something else to stitch on besides the building. So I worked on this little section of the building, like a, what would you call that, a breezeway. Did a little bit of the trees up in here. You know, you got some color other than brick going on there. So I really liked that. Oh, did I say where we were? Last time we were at 12,014 stitches out of 35,726. We were at 33.63% done. This time we're at 13,102 stitches. We're at 36.67% done. So we did a whole 3% on that. We're keeping up since I redid my numbers. Last week I was supposed to get to 3,023 stitches, and we're at 3,102. By Sunday I'm supposed to be at 13,539. So I just have to do like 400 stitches, and I'm on track. So I really like that I redid my numbers. So there. I think a little bit of the picture is coming into play with adding on to the building, you know. Not just like random bits and bobs here and there, but I really love the colors for the trees. I'll show you those. So, what am I going to work on this? Maybe I'll do the trees. Maybe I'll make those pretty trees. Maybe that's what I'll work on. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know what I'll work on. But we'll get some stuff done. Yeah, the trees. I think I want to work on the trees. Okay. One last look. Very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. Alright, that's all my whips. That's all my stuff. Let's see. Plans going forward. Get all my haul in. Start on the Samhain stitch along. Samhain Queen stitch along. Stitch on the regulars on their regular days. And I haven't even started on, it's not a jelly roll. What is it? Where? I don't even know where it is. I was so excited to start on it. And I don't even know where it is. The little houses, the little sampler roll, I think is what it was called. Why didn't I start on that? I don't know. Maybe that's a Thanksgiving stitch. I'm very into Halloween. Maybe that's why I didn't start. I'm too excited about Halloween. Okay. Start the Samhain Queen stitch along once I get my threads in. And then stitch on the regulars. Finish this. Send it to her. Try not to lose my mind with work and life and all that stuff. And yeah, that's it. That's all that's going on with me. Nothing too exciting. Oh, I am doing one thing. Okay, this is personal. I'm done with the cross stitching. This has nothing to do with cross stitch at all. I am doing this one thing because the weekend of my father's anniversary, very emotional, I was PMSing a little bit, so my hormones were just like, anyways, I've decided to do a 40-day technology fast. I'm still going to post on YouTube and that sort of thing, and like use technology when it's necessary, but like I'm not going to watch YouTube. I'm not going to be doom scrolling on Instagram. It starts tomorrow. It goes September 6th to October 16th, 40 days. And I'm going to be doing some study along with that to help figure out some things in my life. It's very, pardon me, religious centric study. So I won't go too much into it there, but it's going to be hard because I use Instagram to zone out at work when I'm exhausted, when everybody's driving me crazy, when I've been asked 1.5 million questions. I just open up Instagram and I just start scrolling, doom scrolling, and so it's going to be really hard. But that's the only thing that's kind of like happening with me is this technology fast, which I'm excited about, and I'm also scared of because I rely on it so much to just zone out from the world and ignore things. And so hopefully I'll be more present. I'll have more time to cross stitch, and hopefully good things come from it. So anyways, all right, I'm done now. Done blabbing, done talking. I hope you're all well. Thank you all for stopping by. Oh! Okay, this is spur of the moment. Sorry. I apologize for anyone who stopped watching, but what if we did a giveaway? What if we did a giveaway? If I got to 500 subscribers, what if I do a giveaway? And I was thinking for the giveaway, one that I'm not going to stitch. I bought and paid like $20+ for, but I'm not going to stitch. What if, now pardon my pants, okay? It is like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night. These are my comfy pants. Don't judge me. Where is it? I know I have it. Okay, I know I have it, but I just can't find it. Ha ha ha, found it. What if I gave away Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow? So, tell me what you think. If by next video we reach 500 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway of Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. Let me know if you like that idea, if you want it. And, yeah. So anyways, sorry, that was like spur of the moment. Anyways, okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Have a great night, day, whenever you watch this. Thank you for stopping by. Truly appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you for watching me talk about my boring life and show you my funky pants. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Bye.